Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central.
It's the In Wheel Time car talk show coming to you today from the 28th Annual Concours d'Elegance at Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. Had another guest from today's annual event later. We're also going to have, did we do Jeff's Motor Minute?
Yeah, we did.
Well, one thing that we didn't get in, we missed this time, is the racing calendar.
Yeah, we talked about that, but it's kind of
I understand, but we still have to get it in.
Okay, let's get it in.
Here's why.
Well, I got to go get it. Hold on.
Well, no, not right this
I just put it away.
All right, well, go get it then. You go do your thing. Don't worry about us. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. Jeff's butt is right there. David Ainsley is right here, and I'm Don Armstrong. He is our IT genius. And I say that loosely. I don't genius at IT, I guess, but that's about all.
I resemble that remark.
I know you do. And I was waiting for you to cut my microphone off. I got you. All right, Mr. Mars, have yourself there.
So joining us now is Justin Smith. We've talked to him a couple of times. He's got Smithy Customs. He's got a few three cars out here, I believe. But he had one special car that he brought out here that's it's down there because he had to bring it in his 40-foot trailer to get it out here. And it's kind of a big deal.
Is it 40 feet long?
Oh, yeah, big car.
48.
No, the trailer is. Not the
48.
car.
48,
The trailer's 40 feet.
Big old gooseneck.
There you go.
Yeah. Make some wide turns.
Exactly.
Run over a couple people.
So let's start with the car. Let's start with that one. Then we'll talk about your other resto mods.
Yeah. So we've been working on this car. It's for one of our clients. He lives up in New York. And he has a car, a 68 Camaro that he purchased back in 1998 and went through the typical things you do when you buy a car like that. And it was his first car he actually bought with his own money. He wanted to really drive this car, and he ended up moving out of the country for a year or so, and he sold the car to a family member, and then he came back and then ended up buying the car back and registered it with his I guess it was his father-in-law, because he got himself married while he was overseas, and just so he could not worry about insurance or whatever.
Right.
And so he sat for until 16, and he decided to get it restored. And he had.
So it was unrestored when he bought it.
Yeah, it was unrestored. It
was an original car.
Yeah.
Original engine.
Original engine and stuff like that, but it caught fire, and after it does that, it's pretty, it's
toasty.
All stop.
Yeah.
And so he contacted us, and he has family down in Houston, and he came down, and we talked about it, and we built him a one-off custom 68 Camaro we call the Torrent. It's a Torrent Camaro, and it's blue. It's Porsche blue. It's called Voodoo Blue, and we did a whole bunch of modern stuff to it. Modern suspension, modern engine, full custom interior. Kind of sounds like that one in the background. It came out nice. So unfortunately, he wasn't able to join us today for the reveal. It's his 25th wedding anniversary.
That's a little bit more important than a dang car.
Couldn't talk her into coming down and do it.
It's actually today. The anniversary is today, and we had a joke going around, may the 4th be with you. And so unfortunately, but he was able to join via FaceTime, and he sent his 3 daughters down.
Oh, nice.
From New York, and they came down. They came in last night, and so we revealed it to them, and it was a great showing. And a lot of people show up down there, and we told kind of the same speech I just said, and kind of a history, and
right,
and revealed the car to the family, and a lot of tears were shed, and the car just came out phenomenal.
I have to ask.
Did a great job.
How bad was the fire on the car, and what did it damage?
So it got both the front seats.
So it was an interior fire?
I think it was a mix of gasoline and oil. So I think they had one of those old school oil gauges. They actually had
The oil coming up to the gauge.
to the actual sendering unit, and it went in, and then when the fire hit that, it just went
off.
south from there. And so both the front seats were toast and everything, and
but it didn't get to the roof and the metal structure of the car.
a little bit, but it wasn't anything we couldn't salvage. We ended up there was too much rust there anyway. We had to replace it anyway, but we ended up replacing a lot of the metal work on there because it's just old. It's 68, and
Careful.
we had to go through all of that stuff. We ended up pulling a lot of the flooring out and everything. We ended up upgrading to a IRS in the back of it, and it's a cantilever setup from Speed Tech, and we did a lot of custom fab throughout that car.
What was left of it when you Swiss cheese, obviously?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's typical. It's typical for these cars.
Was that
rarely
a
needed
northern
something
car that you got? Had a lot of salt rust on it?
Yeah, he bought the car up in New York. So yeah, it got its
lived
fair
its whole
share.
life up there, yeah.
Yeah, it had its fair share.
Yeah.
And so, it's pretty typical we see. So.
How long was the restoration? How long did it take you?
I was asked that a little bit ago, and I was like, wow, 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that also is pretty typical for a complete restoration.
Yeah, rotisserie type. Yeah.
We normally, our cars, when we start rock and rolling on them, we can get them at 2 years. But this car had so much more to it, so much specialty stuff we did to it. It just took a little bit.
How about
longer.
the engine?
The engine, we ended up going with a supercharged motor, just a GM Crate LT4, and produces plenty of power.
Why did you go? Obviously, it was it was orchestrated by the owner, I would assume, that do away with the original motor that was in it, put it in a box, and I'll take it back. But we're going to go with this motor instead of the matching numbers car.
His thought is I want to drive it. I want to enjoy it. I don't have to worry about it. And the way we did these cars and a lot of our cars is we set it up to where it's like a new car. You have all the expectation of getting in it, starting up, and going out and drive.
So the 3+ years it took to rebuild the car, did you find yourself going in a direction and then, we got to change that direction and go over here and try this and replace that, and then from there you were kind of zigzag through the build, or did you have a plan from the beginning and stick to the plan? We
had a plan. We always really try to understand what the goals of the client is, and then we come up with kind of an idea of what we're thinking, and we get a rendering done. And so we've been working off the last 2.5 years of a rendering that we put together that really gave us guidance of what to look for. And,
gotcha.
How we redid the rear of the car underneath and allowed a diffuser setup in the rear. How we're going to intake a lot of the cooler air in the front and redesign that. There's a lot of thought that goes into building a car that produces 650 horsepower. It's just not something you have to, you can just throw together. You have to plan accordingly.
What other cars do you have in the shop right now?
Right now, wow. We're working on about over a dozen cars, off and on. We have...
little bit here, a little bit there. This one for a day, this one for a couple of days.
Not necessarily. I think for us, it's just we have 4 different parts of the shop, and we have one group of guys working on the metal work, and then it moves to another part of the shop where it moves in for first assembly, where they go in and do all of the bracketry and putting in the AC systems and all that, getting all that stuff to fit. Then it goes to paint body. And then it goes to final assembly, where everything was pre-fitted and everything goes right back together the way we designed it to. So through the phases of those of that building process, might be a lapse here while we're waiting for a part, or waiting for a suspension to show up, or whatever the situation is. This car was like it kind of started right after the pandemic, and we had a lot of trouble getting a lot of parts in a timely fashion. And so a lot of that played into how we had to pace ourselves.
So in other words, it really wasn't like ordering community coffee in the morning on Amazon and have it delivered by noon.
Yeah.
It wasn't that way.
Those good old days are gone.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
As far as the suspension is concerned, what kind of IRS did you put on the rear of the car?
So we worked with Speed Tech Performance. They're out of St. George, Utah. And they do a lot of these suspension systems for pro touring type cars.
Now, did you have to re-bracket the car?
So we literally had to cut the whole rear of the car apart.
Oh, great.
Yeah, like you would do for a full tub setup for a
Yep.
race car or something. That's how far extensive we went into. And since it's a unibody, there's a lot of structure there you have to think about.
So you have some
Yeah.
really nice-looking cutting torches in the shop.
Oh, yeah. We get down and dirty with plasma cutter. And,
Yeah.
a good old-fashioned hacksaw if you need to.
And then when you weld it, it's like a row of nickels.
Yeah. I got some my guys at the shop are phenomenal craftsmen.
How many guys you got working for you?
We're sitting I think right around 13 right now.
Wow. It's a big shop.
Big crew.
And there's an ebb and flow, of people that work for us, and some people move on, and it's just the way that the business is. But the good thing that we really focus in on is the type of people and the mentality that our
And what they
guys
can
are.
do for you, yeah.
And first and foremost, they got to be good people, and every one of my crew, past and present, be good people, and that's what we look for.
Do you have anything for sale in the shop? Anything personal that you need to exchange?
I do have
Money.
I do have a couple projects, and when I run across we talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people want something done, and then some just lose interest, and I was like, that's a pretty cool car, and we'll work out a deal and purchase it, and I'll keep it at kind of like not inventory, but something that we can potentially flip or sell.
Right.
And there's several cars that in our rotation that we finished in the last couple of years were my personal cars. We have a '65 Corvette down there, a full custom that we built for a client. That was mine. I really wanted it. It was something I wanted to buy.
Dang it, Mama! You can't. You don't let me have anything.
Yeah, and because I want that car, I'm like, what can I do? And so
you got outbid.
I sell the car, and we ended up. It's a win-win. Everyone enjoys it. They get the car, and we get to build it the way I wanted to build it. To begin with.
Right.
So it works out, and
Which
I get to drive it.
That's a whole lot of it. You get it, you build it the way you want it, and then it's like, what am I going to do next? Well, let me find another project.
Yeah.
Well, and then you overprice it so they can't buy it.
Well,
there's I got one there that I have a '69 Z28. I pulled it out of an auction up in Dallas, and this was. There's no really documentation of how it was purchased. I've gone every route to try to figure out the title, who bought it, who's the original owner. It's never been titled in Texas.
Ghost car. Wow.
Yeah, and my thought is it was purchased in Lubbock, and there's some detail on the car. You have to really focus in on the paint. You can see it's a race car. It was a track car that they took. They did a quarter mile in it or eighth mile. I don't know what they did, but you can see old lettering that was painted over on it on the sail panel, and you can see out of Lubbock, Texas, and you can see names, and I've tried to track down those names, but it's all in its original paint and glory. You can tell it was raced in the 70s. It has all of that stuff. It's a Z28.
Does it have the DZ motor in it?
So when I bought it, it did not. I'm pretty sure they probably pulled it out, put something else in it.
Yeah.
But I was fortunate enough to run across one that had the matching number set up, and I had Jeff over at Westside Performance Machine put it together for me, so it's a numbers matching setup for this car.
Very nice.
And so we're gonna drop that in there, but we're gonna original patina, everything in it, keep it alive. It's got the old mag style wheels on it. And we're just going to keep it like it was and enjoy it for what it was used for back then.
How do we find out about Smithy's?
So you can Instagram's a big one. You can hit us up on Facebook as well.
And is it Smitty?
No, it's Smith with a Y at the end.
Smithy.
Yeah.
Smith with a Y.
I chose that, obviously, my last name's Smith. But Smithy is I chose that because it's a name, an old name that was used that defined where a blacksmith or a smith would work.
Yeah,
Right.
And
Craftsman
that's
type,
where people went to the smithy to get craftsmen and work done, and that's why I stuck with that.
And you're our Smithy.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Well, getting back to the Camaro, he's looking for a new hot rod.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
If you take a trade on a 2001 Corvette, then we could start there.
Oh, I mean,
It's only got 34,000 miles on it.
Oh man, that's low miles for that year.
It is.
Okay, if we can get you two together
Well,
after the show,
Yeah, let's do that. We'll do a trade.
there you go.
There you go.
Justin, it's great to talk to you. Good to see you, my friend.
Absolutely.
Take
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, and we hope to run into you again soon.
Yeah.
Stay in touch with us.
Absolutely. Thank you all.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
it.
much. The Unwell Time Car Talk Show is available 24. As the wind blows my script away.
Yeah, it's getting a little breezy.
The N-Will Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for N-Will Time Car Talk. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and nwilltime.com. Podcasts from your favorite podcast provider. The N-Will Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th, you're invited to enjoy the 28th Annual Keels Wheels Concours d'Elegance. See the largest collection of classic cars and boats in the U.S. on display at the beautiful Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. This year's Keels and Wheels features 60 years of Ford Mustangs and Donzi boats. There's plenty of free parking, and discount tickets are available online at keels-wheels.com. It's Keels and Wheels, Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook. In Wheel Time will be there, too. We'll see you there.
Welcome back to the N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show, coming to you today from Keels and Wheels. And by the way, today's show closes at 5. Tomorrow's show open 9 to 4 at the Lakewood Yacht Club here in Seabrook. Come on down, buy your tickets online, get a $10 discount each, and that's the way to do it.
Yep.
There's plenty of parking off-site. The actual grass lots are closed because of all the rain that we've had. So they're busing people back and forth. Not a big deal. Park in a nice concrete lot somewhere around here, and they'll bus you in. All right. Time now for the racing calendar, sponsored by the Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge.
Yeah, and then we got NASCAR, which is tomorrow. Tickets are still available, Mike, if you want to go. It's 3 p.m. It's from the Darlington Raceway. So
famous
Darlington Raceway tomorrow for NASCAR. You've got my favorite, which is Formula One. It is going on this week. It was going on yesterday, today, tomorrow, and they are in Miami Grand Prix.
Talking about Miami.
Talk about Miami. Now, upcoming, you got Indy coming up, road course May 11th, which is the prequel to the Indy 500, which is the same thing for IMSA, which is going to be in Laguna Seca on May 12th, which is Mother's Day. Everybody don't forget that. May 18th, coming up in a couple of weeks, is going to be the NHRA, and they're going to be in Chicago. It's going to be a 2-day event, 18th and 19th, and it's going to be the Route 66 National Speedway in Chicago. So
All
there
right.
you go.
Mr. Mars, it's all yours, sir.
Yes, sir. So we've talked to a lot of different people here, got a lot of different vehicles, but one of the things, if you're thinking about getting into this, is you got to keep in mind that the whole idea is to document a vehicle back to its factory original condition. Now, each one of these brands have got different judges. They're experts in that marquee, and they know all about it, the history of the engine, the chassis, construction, factory paint, and they know what normal wear and tear would be on these things. So if you've got a car and you want to try and get into this, you need to go to some of the meets and some of the shows like this one. But a couple of the big ones you need to look at is the Classic Car Club of America, Bloomington Gold, the National Corvette Restorers Society, because they've all got certification programs and judging events specifically for this. And that includes some of them, like Bloomington Gold Corvette Show, the end of June at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, has got workshops that they go into. You can go in and you can learn about frame-off processes, mechanical rebuilding, body, paint work, all these kind of things that are going to go into it. You need to go and find out about it before you actually get into it, because the such as Bloomington Gold, they recognize characteristics like overspray and orange peel that's typical of factory cars, but a lot of people they correct it and they overcorrect it. So they take out the orange peel and they make it an over-restored vehicle.
Yeah, and they get
they
points
do too
off
much,
of that.
and then you start losing points because it's too much. So if you want to look into this, before you get too far gone down this road, you need to start looking at the certification groups that are going to do that.
And what you want to be involved in.
That's
Let's
right.
get to Paul Merriman. He is the co-founder of Keels and Wheels, been here for 28 years and been doing his boat thing a lot longer than that, I would imagine. Paul, it's good to see you, sir.
It's good to be here. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. And how are things going? This is a Donzi boat feature in the water out there here at Lakewood Yacht Club this year. And how many Donzis do you have out there?
We got 16 Donzis.
Oh, wow.
16 Donzis. A very special boat. Do they still build these things?
Yes, they do. A different company bought them a few years ago,
Yeah.
and they're now building the boat. But the ones we have here date all the way back to the beginning, in the late 60s, early 70s, when they were building the Sweet 16, they called it, which was the hot dog boat of that era.
Right. What we would look at as today's cigarette or something like that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And of course, the new modern ones, if you've been to the harbor, you can see what the new Donzis look like, which are the big go fast,
really sleek looking.
Yeah. So are you judging these?
Yes, we are.
Are you the head judge?
I'm one of the judges.
One of the judges. Okay. So there's several of you, so you can kind of defer all the hate and ugly words that might be said because they didn't get the top prize or whatever.
Exactly. It wasn't my fault.
So,
That's right.
have you always judged, and can you be bought?
No, I have not always judged. Being the co-founder of the event, I stayed out of that until I semi-retired here a couple of years ago.
Right. Conflict of interest.
Yeah, I
correct.
got you.
Yeah. How many boats total are out there to be seen by the visitors today?
Right at 50.
50 boats. Yeah. Are any of the boats out there welcoming visitors on board?
Yes, we've got a couple of the big boats that are giving tours.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I remember visiting one several years ago. It was magnificent. It was a yacht, a total wooden yacht. And I don't remember who owned it. There was a very nice woman that was giving the tours, and I think her husband sitting next to her with the dog on the floor. Come on in, take a look. It was stunning, the detail work on these boats.
That would more than likely be the yacht Serenity, and she is back with us this year.
Oh, that's great.
This is about her 20th year to be in our show.
Well, that's a magnificent boat, and if you come down here to Keels and Wheels, be sure and go out there and get on board that boat and take a look. I think that you're going to go, you've got to be kidding. People actually made this? It's truly stunning.
Well, it really is. If we're talking about the yacht Serenity, it's a 1941 boat.
Yeah.
Construction was actually started in the late 30s and finished, in 1941. But it was also the last one to come out of the factory before they converted to, wartime activities. So it's really a very rare vessel.
Yeah. Well, it's stunningly beautiful to think of the craftsmanship that went into that at that time. You know, we look back on that and you just kind of give it a shrug, but you go in there and look at the detail work and you'll see why it took all those years to put that thing together.
And the maintenance of it currently, I'm sure.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
The maintenance and upkeep is unbelievable.
Has it got the original engine in it?
Yes, it does.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I cannot even imagine. Freshwater, or in this case, I guess a saltwater boat. Yeah. Because that is a constant maintenance item.
Well, it is, but this has the original Detroit diesel engines.
Wow.
Truly amazing.
It'll last forever.
I know you probably can't say what your favorite is, but what would you really want everybody to know that's out there that they must see?
You know, it'd be really hard to pick the best boat. I'm glad it's not my job this year.
Yeah.
You know, to pick the outstanding boat, of which we normally have one every year, but we've got some absolutely beautiful boats.
Well, Paul, it's always good to see you. I'm sure we're a little short on time this morning, but I did wanted to make sure that you get on and talk about the boat section, the keels portion of Keels and Wheels, and it's great to see you.
Well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you guys. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very
It's very
much.
great to see you. Okay, we're going to wrap up today's show right after a quick break here on In Wheel Time.
Original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Loopy Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Loopy Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Loopy Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is having another car social Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. It's a car cruise-in like no other. Expect Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Corvettes, and the featured brand Porsche. Get social at this special cruise-in event. You'll also see Gulf Coast Auto Shield's private workshop and learn about their many products and services. Questions are welcomed. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway near West Airport Boulevard, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The Car Social featuring Porsche takes place Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. Tell your friends, and no matter what car you have, bring it and enjoy this rare opportunity to see some of Houston's finest rides. In Wheel Time will bring its Car Talk show there too, so join us for another Car Social at Gulf Coast Auto Shield, Saturday morning, May 18th, 8 to 11 at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. Visit gcautoshield.com to see the show flyer for more details.
Well, that's it for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Check out our website, inwheeltime.com. If you're not following us on Facebook, please do. Give us a like. Tell your friends about us and share our stuff with your friends, if you would, please. We'll keep you posted on the latest car stuff all week long. When you're looking for award-winning car talk Sunday through Friday, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 via the iHeartRadio app. Daily 30-minute podcasts are available from your favorite streaming provider. We post a new episode every day. And don't forget, we live stream this show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday from 8 to 11 a.m. Central Time. The In Wheel Time Sales and Video Technical Director is We Need More Jeff Zekin.
Yes.
For booking agent, video editor, and the man who dives deeper than the Titanic to bring you all of his magnificence, Mike Out of This World Mars, along with chief engineer, bottle washer, and driver of the 1984 Browns minivan, David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. We hope you join us next week from our broadcast home, Studio A in Sugar Land, Texas, here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Next Saturday, May 11th, 8 to 11 a.m. on all of our In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there.
That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.